Hey BrewTubers, happy Homebrew Wednesday. So I originally filmed a couple long clips of me tasting gravity samples of my um, last brew stout. Yes, I still haven't decided an official name for it, but it is kegged. It's been in the keg for about I kegged it filming this Thursday night. I kegged it this past Saturday night. So I did my usual carving for 3 days at 30 psi, and then it's been settling for a couple of days since Tuesday night. So as you see, I poured really nice. It's a very much a dark brown, not a black. It's my first time actually pouring a full glass. It's definitely a dark, like reddish brown. A nice two-finger head, and it's pretty creamy looking, but there are some nice big bubbles in there and small bubbles. But big bubbles meaning they won't last as long that long. But we'll see as we drink it and I speak to you about it. That's going for the aroma. So there definitely is a little bit of roast in the aroma, a little bit of a touch of astringency. I should say I also use gypsum in this beer. But not too roasty. A little bit of coffee. Definitely a nice sweet, like semi-sweet chocolate. And definitely a similar aroma to my other beers that were a little too sweet. But this one, I should note, because I'm not going to include the clips that I filmed with the gravity samples to not be repetitive or make the Homebrew Wednesday too long. It got down to about 10, 12, or 10, 13, which is just about an ABV that I wanted of 5.3 or 5.4% for a nice like session stout. So let's go for the taste. Cheers. Okay, so at first sip, it's definitely because I used the Irish yeast and I mashed it a little lower, about 152, 153. It doesn't have as much body as I would have liked, but just the flavor, burst of flavors goes from the beginning to the end. It's really drinkable. So, with a little bit of astringency from the gypsum and the roasted malt, it really does not come off too sweet. Even though, even though I added roasted barley, which is usually not used in Irish dry stouts, but is used in oatmeal stouts, it's not too like overtly like a milk chocolate, but it's definitely chocolatey. But there is some nice breadiness in there because I used some biscuit malt. But my goal really for the overall flavor, which I probably didn't mention earlier, was to kind of blur the lines between an oatmeal stout. There's some recipes that I saw online actually do use the Irish ale yeast for, and an actual Irish dry stout. So to make it drinkable, I wanted it to be drier and dry out more and have less residual sweetness than an oatmeal stout would have, so that it could be like a sessionable beer and one I could drink a bunch of without having one thick beer and one creamy beer after another. But again, I wanted the oats to add just enough extra body. So as I sip on it, the flavors are pretty consistent. There was like at times when I was tasting gravity samples, there was a slight watery, nutty flavor, going on in there. But it's not. I can still sense it slightly, but it's not as overwhelming as I would think. But I'm drinking this like right off the keg, so my impressions now are really, just as it's nice and cold. But the low ABV stout, I don't need it to warm up that much. Yeah. So that flavor actually comes in and actually adds a little complexity, which I just got in that sip, which I never gotten before. Just to end the taste portion of this video, which is like a bready, almost a chocolate flavor that I would almost get in an imperial stout. Maybe, as it warms up, if anything new comes into the thing, I'll put in the description of this video or in the blog post about this beer. Um, and then I'll go ahead and so you'll see if I got any other flavors or my thoughts on the beer, or change. But overall, pretty happy with it. So I want to take this opportunity actually, before I give updates, and then I have to soon film another clip, which I'll mention. I want to wish congratulations to also to my first baby buddy, Taxi, aka Taxi from Italy. We're both. I don't know if his wife gave birth yet, but I watched a video this week that he posted for Homebrew Wednesday saying that they're expecting too. So I guess we're expecting buddies. So I'm filming this Thursday night, as I said, and my wife is due on Tuesday. So the first babies are notoriously late, but we'll see what happens. But I'll let you guys know via Facebook, and then an eventual video once I have time when the baby's born. But just as you know, I'm posting this video, so baby hasn't been born yet as of this video. So, hey everybody, welcome to the next segment of this week's Homebrew Wednesday. So, as I mentioned, I got a beer mail today at work from Andrew Cooper, otherwise known as Not on Sundays Brewing. I have here one of the 3 beers that he sent me, 3 craft beers they sent included in this trade from Creature Comforts Brewing Company, and that's out of Athens, Georgia, which I think is also where Terrapin is. If I'm not mistaken. Andrew, you could correct me. This is their famous Tropicalia IPA. And it's pretty fresh, so I put it in the freezer when I got home from work to chill down. It was canned on 3/28, and I'm filming this on April 14th, so it's about 2.5 weeks old, so really fresh for an IPA. So I have my Dogfish Head IPA glass here. I'll crack that open, and then I'll give you my initial thoughts, and then we can go on to the other beers he sent me. Definitely a filtered beer. New England style cloudy juice bomb. But definitely a nice golden color. Smell the hops ready filling the room. I'm really happy. I'm pretty sure he kept these beers in the fridge on his way here. And then he did it 2-day shipping, so it wouldn't be in like a warehouse over the weekend. So let's get in for the aroma. Really nice. Definitely, I don't know if they use Simcoe, but definitely a nice dankness mixed in with a nice like tropical, like grapefruit citrus. Not like no overt tropical fruit, but definitely a very West Coasty. Little bit of there is a bit. Now that I really dig in with my whip, there is a little bit of tropical fruit. But mainly citrus, like grapefruit and a little bit of like bitter orange peel. And again, that dankness. So, cheers to Andrew, and let's taste this really hyped IPA. Ooh. Whoa. A lot more tropical in the taste. Like mango, maybe a little bit of pineapple. But definitely still grapefruity. Not much orange. That dankness, a little bit of pininess, isn't really in the taste at all. It's definitely very West Coast, citrus, tropical fruit driven. A little bit of bitterness building on the palate, but not too dry. Yeah, nice like peachy, mango-y, tropical, like overall nice flavor with, that mixes in with the citrus. Really good. Definitely lives up to the hype. I wouldn't say it's like a mind-blowing beer, but it's a very well-brewed IPA. So definitely worth seeking out if you can get the Creature Comforts beers. I don't know how far they distribute, um, yeah. So we'll go ahead and to the other two beers that he sent me from the same Creature Comforts Brewing Company. This is their Cosmic Debris, which is a double IPA, which was canned on 3/21, so still less than a month old. So I'll have to make sure to drink that soon. And lastly, which you've seen in his videos, he said it's their most widely available beer called Athena, which is a Berliner Weiss, and this was canned on 3/18, so also less than a month old. So really nice and fresh, and I really thank him for sending me some nice fresh beers from a brewery that I've been wanting to try for quite a while. All right, so now we'll move on to the home brews he sent me. I'm not going to I have the document here I pulled up on my phone that he sent me, but I'm not going to do what I did with Danny APA and read the descriptions just because it'll make this clip too long. So let's go ahead with the first one. We have the COB. It is a sour cherry dark sour, so it's a dark sour base with cherries. So looking forward to that. That's beer number one. Next, we have a BF or Brett Farmhouse, which is a saison with Brett. Then we have in this bigger bag CB, which is I believe the current beer. So it's a Belgian multiple. It's a blend of beers that are fermented with Brett and currants. 2 types of currants. I think he reviewed that beer once. And then we have BAD, the first of 2 barrel-aged beers that he sent me, the barrel-aged double. And I forgot, I'll have to let you know when I review it, which type of barrel it was aged in. And then the most recent one, which he's posted videos of, I think his first Homebrew Wednesday, is BAQ, which I'm really happy that he was able to bottle and send me, because he said he wasn't sure he was going to have time to bottle it. This is barrel-aged quad, which I'm definitely looking forward to. I've only had one or two other barrel-aged quads. I've had one from Boulevard. They have their BBQ, and I had one from La Trappe, I believe, which they do different types of barrels each year. And I had one that was aged in an Islay Scotch barrel, and I didn't really like it. But this was a wheated whiskey barrel, so it should really give some vanilla and oak to a nice dark fruit quad. So I'm really looking forward to that. Now, just to quickly wrap up the Homebrew Wednesday, talk a little bit about Wednesday night. So the way the swaps work, just to review, is that it's basically just a bottle share, but all homebrew. And it takes place in a homebrew shop, so it's like the perfect environment for a discussion about all things homebrewing. Instead of being at someone's house or at a bar, it's really just conducive to discussion. So, there's a lot of people from all different levels of brewing, a lot of them being brewminaries, which is the other club that I'm a big part of. So it's good to see the regulars, but there was this time a fair amount of newbies who are either new to brewing or haven't been to a swap before. So it's just good to meet new people, try their beers, give them as much constructive feedback as I could, and have them try my ESB, which you guys know about. So I'll talk about that. So everyone really liked it. Everyone really liked the malt character. And my friend Robert, who I'm pretty sure doesn't work at Bitter Nesters anymore, but now he got a job at a local bar in Brooklyn called Covenhoven as their beverage manager. So he manages all their taps and the beer they sell in the fridges. And he was really like the malt character. And then he's like, which Maris Otter do you use? Because we also have the Glen Eagles floor malted Maris Otter. And I said I just use their normal Maris Otter that they carry. And he had me taste both of them, just the raw malted grain. And the Glen Eagles was like a little more richer, like it really enveloped the palate more. So next time I brew a beer that I want to use an English base malt for, he even said he uses it for his IPAs. Maybe I'll try that one time. But next time especially want to brew like a stout or a ESB or any other British style, I'll definitely use that and see how it compares now that I know what rich Maris Otter flavor tastes like in my ESB. But overall, it was a really good bottle swap. A lot of really creative beers. There was a guy who brought an awesome Imperial Stout that he aged in a small bourbon barrel. So shout out to Tyler from Everyday Home Brewing who just filled a barrel. His stout looks like it's going to come out great. And I tasted one non-barrel aged homebrewed Imperial Stout, which is really good, and then the barrel aged from someone else, and both beers were really awesome. So maybe one day, if I have space, I'll get one of those barrels. Cheers. Hope you're brewing great beer, and I'll see you when I see you. Again, I don't plan on posting another video until after the baby's born, but if something comes up and I have time, then I will. But otherwise, cheers everybody, and I'll make sure to watch as many of your videos as possible, and yeah, keep on brewing.